Welcome to Around the Blockchain here on BitBoy Crypto. This channel, we try to teach you how to become financially free with digital assets. And this is no exception today. We got a great group of panelists here on Around the Blockchain. It is Friday. It is a Friday afternoon that we will all remember. Crypto markets are not doing much. That's all right. We got a great show for you. Got some great guests in the house tonight. We got Tom Crown. We got RiceTVx. We've got the largest, tallest man in Crypto Crow, and the amazing Naomi Brockwell. It's going to be a great show today. We got some great topics. We're going to be talking about a big win for Ripple, Rio de Bitcoin, or Crypto de Janeiro, however you want to say it. And then the Polygon network activity is absolutely surging. Can't wait to hear what our panel has to say about these topics today. Make sure that you do drop a like on this video. And don't forget to go down into the description. We've got the links for all of their channels. Go ahead and show them some BitSquad love. Follow, like, and subscribe all that they do, because they put out some fantastic crypto content for you to help you become financially free as well. All right. Let's get into some market watch, and then we can get into the show. Crypto, it is coming in at 2.06 trillion. That is up 1.3% on the day. Bitcoin coming in at 43,000. Let me just do a quick refresh just in case. 43.3. ETH coming in at $3,325. BNB at 490. Tether holding strong at $1. That's always my favorite. I just love that. And then we got Solana at $147. That's down just a little bit today. But what we're seeing across the board, and if as I scroll down, you're seeing a lot of green. That's a good thing. Behind me, the wall is green. We're all happy. It's been a brutal start to 2022, but that's all right. Let's get a good start to this show. All right, let's get into it. First topic, we are going to be talking. Let's go. All right, first topic we're talking about today. Things are looking good for the XRP case against the SEC. Now, a judge has asked the SEC to hand over an email containing a draft of former Director William Hinman's statement on whether Ethereum was deemed a security. U.S. Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn granted a motion to push the discovery deadline into February. Little unsure about what's going on there. And then past trends suggest that we are going to be moving forward. All right. Crow, it's my first time with you on this show, so I'm going to ask you a question first. Sorry, Naomi, I should have done ladies first, but that's the way the cookie crumbled today.
Rude.
All right, what are your thoughts on how the SEC has created an uneven playing field in such a critical time of growth in the crypto ecosystems? You are muted, sir.
I mean, personally, I have strong opinions, but I'll put on my kid gloves for the public. I mean, listen, I don't know exactly what their motives are, right? I mean, the SEC and any regulatory branch is kind of like it's an attack arm of the government overall. So when I look at what the SEC is doing, to me, it kind of points me in the direction of asking questions. What is the government actually trying to accomplish by X, whatever X is? So in this case, maybe the government I even said something recently. I said either the SEC is looking to pin them down to either get rid of what could be potential competition to kind of the CBDC token or whatever it is they're doing, or to say, here's an offer you can't refuse. We're going to adopt this technology and we're going to use it for our own means, and we're going to cut you in and you're going to do really well, but you can give up your pipe dreams of whatever you had going on previously. but I don't know. You know what I mean? It could be neither of those. But that when I look at the FCC, when they take action, to something of this degree, it tells me that there's a lot more going on than I think any of us understand from the outside.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. And that actually brings me to my next question, Rice. I want to ask you this. Now I heard that the reason that the SEC even started this lawsuit was so that they could give Consensus and ETH kind of a head start into this regulation game. Now, if this ends up being true, what kind of blowback are we going to see for the SEC? Do you think XRP will even file a counteraction suit against them for everything that they've brought up and kind of the way that they did them dirty, if that's how you feel?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's interesting is, I mean, I don't think anything is going to make the SEC look good with any of this kind of stuff. I mean, I agree with Crow when he said that this is an attack arm on our government, or of our government, basically. Now, as far as I don't think there's going to be any blowback on Ethereum by any means. I think it's really interesting that they're getting access to Hinman's emails because that's where he concluded that Ethereum was not a security. So this will give Ripple Corporation an opportunity to be able to evaluate what they're doing and try to compare it to what Ethereum was doing in the early stages to where they currently are now and see what the comparisons are. Now, the big thing with Ethereum being judged as not a security was because they had enough time to decentralize themselves. They have over 11,000 nodes right now worldwide. Bitcoin has over 12,000 nodes right now worldwide. And there's only 150 plus validator nodes for XRP. So there's not as many distributed nodes, but it is technically a distributed network. But looking at the supply of the coins, there are 46.5 billion in escrow, and then there's 5.8 billion roughly that XRP holds, the Ripple Corporation holds. So between the two of those, that is 52% of the supply that they have control of. So I'm not really sure where the argument is going to come into them being decentralized and not be listed as a security. But again, this whole thing is just really crazy because I've said it from, quite a few times on the show that I really feel like the outcome has already been determined and they're just kind of keeping the markets down. This is a way, because we know that once this thing is settled, XRP gets the go ahead, that it's off to the races, not only for XRP but the rest of the crypto market. I really feel like this is kind of holding things back in my viewpoint.
I absolutely agree with you. I've been saying that for weeks, that and maybe even months, that someone has their foot on the brake. And as soon as this case is solved and it's settled and the XRP and the Ripple Corp prevail, we are definitely going to see that epic bull run that we've all been waiting for. I think that's kind of what's held us back. So
Yeah, I agree.
appreciate what you said there, and I absolutely agree with you. All right, Naomi. Now, assuming that XRP and Ripple get exonerated in this whole case, would that affect your view on the corporation and the XRP token in particular?
I don't think anything the SEC says is going to affect my view on anything. I don't know why anyone takes them seriously at this stage. I mean, I'm just going to reiterate what everyone else has already said on this chat. Right from the get-go, the SEC has been targeting success, not scams. One of the first companies that the SEC went after in crypto was Satoshi Dice, not because anyone had complained. Everyone was using it. Everyone found this gambling platform really, really valuable. They wanted to get involved, yet they targeted it. And so they're just going after things that threaten the US government and show that the US government potentially doesn't have power over this new wave of financial innovation. And so really, this is all about the SEC making a power play. I hope that XRP gets exonerated because that means the exchanges will feel okay listing it. But honestly, if that's the case, if we're relying on centralized exchanges listing XRP and we're relying on the SEC making a favorable outcome, I mean, crypto was created to get away from all this reliance on all these third parties, right? We are way too reliant on centralized exchanges if this is our primary goal. We should be getting more involved with DEXs, where you don't need anyone's permission to get listed. I think it's really crazy that we have this situation where we have these permissionless innovations and we're still focused on what the SEC has to say and whether or not they're going to give us permission. Like, newsflash, we don't need to get permission from anyone to be in this space anymore. We've taken that power back. The tables have turned with all this decentralized tech, and it's time that we embrace that power and really embrace this decentralized side of all of this rather than centralized exchanges, whether or not they're going to list it, whether or not price is going to moon on these centralized exchanges. Like, I think the SEC is a joke. I think that they are far too focused on making people's choices for them and protecting consumers from their own decisions. Like, I wish that they would stop infantilizing us and would let us just get along with our own lives and trust that we've done our own research and we can make our own decisions. Like, we're not children, and maybe they should stop treating us as such.
I love that, and I absolutely agree with you, because I feel almost like the same thing. It's like, if you're a 40-year-old man and you want to go hang out with your friends, you're not calling your mom to see if you can go hang out with them, right? Like, that's when I equate like the permissionless thing of crypto. It's like you find like these stupid anecdotes like that, and you're like, listen, like, that's why we're here, because the financial system, the legacy financial system, was ruined by governments, by banksters, by Wall Street. Why do we want them to be in control of this? I think it's just silliness. But
no, look, the SEC, man. I mean, this is a crazy joke because I mean, if they're going after smaller companies, these entities can't afford to go against the United States government. And a good example was the Veritasium Reggie Middleton suit. And I'm going to be doing a lot more exposure on this because I've talked to a lot of community members. You have members that employees of the SEC that are basically trying to get people to overturn their statements in regards to how they feel about the project, whether or not they felt they were defrauded or situations like that, trying to get people to flip. The SEC is really dirty. And until they are obsolete, we really need to pay attention because regulation is going to be important. I agree with what Naomi's saying, but at the same time, the SEC still exists. So until they are obsolete, till we can get rid of that part
Until
of the
we shut them down.
it's gonna be something that we have to worry about. And if they keep going after smaller entities, it's really going to start affecting things. Someone like Ripple can afford to do what they're doing. They've got the money to be able to do it. They've got the backing. So it's ridiculous, man. It's legalized crime cartel.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. And kind of echoing what Rice just said, Tom, I'm going to come to you on this next question. But something that he said resonated, and it actually plays into this next question. Now, the email that we're talking about very likely will be key to not regulating crypto with such harsh consequences and not enforcing a square into a round hole. Now, do you agree that crypto needs different frameworks since the tech is far more advanced than traditional equities?
Oh, well, first, it's great to be here, everybody. I'm filling in for Ben today, by the way, just so you know. Do I think it requires a different framework? I think it demands a new framework. I don't think it's even should we or what should we do. I think it has to be treated differently by its just fundamental structure. Going on what we were saying here with the email and such, I wanted to chime in. I agree and disagree with pretty much what everyone said here. To me, it's interesting. This email is very legalese. I don't know how to say it. Ripple's defense is now seeming with this email.
Confusing babble.
Legalese. This is going to be unpopular statement, but it seems like they're not really trying to, with this email statement, defend themselves. They're trying to say, hey, what about Ethereum? I think what's going to happen here is either both of them are going to be declared a security or neither of them are going to be declared a security. I don't really see any way that it comes out differently because the facts are there. They both have fit or maybe not. I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell you the what is or isn't. I'm not a judge. But they're both similar in their origin in a way. ICO, Ripple. Actually, I don't remember exactly if they ICO'd. I think they did.
Yeah,
but either way.
Ripple did not.
Did they not?
They did private. I think they did private sales.
I believe that they both fit or neither of them fit. That's really how it goes. And unfortunately, going to what Rice said, centralization or decentralization, we love this, but that doesn't change if it's a security or not. The fact that there's more nodes or something, I would agree that is a good thing for a project, but I wouldn't agree that would make it a security or not.
Well, they said by definition.
To push back a little on that, Tom, like if you actually look at the Howey test, one of the core pillars of that is whether or not a project is decentralized, whether it has a central hub of people who are doing things that can affect the outcome of a price. And if there's no central hub, it's deemed potentially not a security. So I think that's what the XRP community is riding on at the moment. And that's why, there's a person who's making proclamations about whether or not Ether is a security or not. That's what they were getting at. They were saying, listen, it may have started out centralized, but it's decentralized enough that it's not like any single person who's driving this. But I tend to agree with you, Tom. I don't like the way that we're kind of trying to drag down Ethereum. Like, that's not the way to win this. Like, we should all be banding together to fight for all crypto. Library's in the same camp. SEC is going after them, saying, you're a security, which is insane. I think that the SEC should just let people get on with their lives and get on with their choices. But Crypto Crow, what is going on?
We have to pause this really quick. This is a first on BitBoy Crypto, maybe on any kind of crypto live stream that's ever gone on the air. Crypto Crow is getting a haircut live while he's on ATB. I love this. I love everything about what's happening.
I tried to warn everybody. I thought this was going to be a 4 o'clock. I scheduled a haircut at 5 thinking it would all line up. And then I got the message, oh no, this is at 5 p.m. And my barber was like, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 45 minutes. I'm like, well, you know what? I haven't had a haircut in 3 damn weeks. So we're doing this shit right now.
I love it.
I'm getting
I love it.
dental
All right.
cleaning on the next episode.
Just
Tune in.
super quick. So Ethereum, they would have been judged as a security in the early stages, but like Naomi said, they had enough time to decentralize themselves. And the reason, and I get why the attorneys for Ripple are using Ethereum, because when you're dealing with a legal case, the easiest thing is to go after something that's already had precedent set, so that you don't have to build another case. You can just expound upon the existing case already, which is like working smart, not working hard.
Well, you should always always work smart, not hard.
And
all right,
agree.
And
Ethereum
double up and get haircuts while you're on live streams.
Absolutely.
That's the way to maximize your time.
Absolutely. If you're not doing two things at once, what are you doing, man? You're not grinding like Crow is. All right, let's wrap that up for the XRP conversation. But that does take us really quick to our lightning round question. Some of you, if you don't like being held down to a specific price target, find a way to avoid, but just let me know. What is your XRP price target after they win their case versus the SEC? Tom, I want to start with you. 10 seconds.
Dang, after you threw a curveball at me, I had a whole chart prepared. Let me throw this at you. We
There you
got tons of volume below us at 50 cents. I don't know when this case will be settled, but I can even see in the short term to midterm that we could have absolutely a move back to maybe that dollar mark, that $2 mark. We have a volume gap there. We have more support below us than resistance above. I think the case wins. We see a retest at the all-time high. If the case loses, who knows? You know, Good luck.
Good luck. All right, Rice, what do you think?
Okay, I did some really crazy math. I went to the all-time high price, which is $3.84, and I multiplied that by a factor of 2, which comes out to $7.68. That is my price prediction if XRP wins in 2022.
All right, Crow, you got an XRP price prediction if XRP wins?
It'll go up.
There you
That's
go.
about it.
I love it. Naomi, what do you got for us?
I've been told that 589 is the number. Is that right? Is 589 the number that we're aiming for? I don't know. Obviously things are going to pump
if you are if you are XRP Army and you want to see 589 this year, make sure that you drop a +1 in the chat, and don't forget to like the video. Again, these folks are out here working hard on a Friday afternoon. We'd like to see this thing get well over 1,000 likes for them. Let's do it. Let's get it. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Crypto de Janeiro, or as I like to say, Bitcoin de Janeiro. Or no, it was Rio de Bitcoin, the river of Bitcoin. All right, so the mayor, Eduardo Paes, announced that Brazil's second most populous city is going to be putting 1% of the city's treasury into Bitcoin. And the mayor did drop this news while he was at a conference speaking next to Mayor Francis Suarez of Miami. So obviously this influence from him is paying off for all of us folks that love Bitcoin. The Brazilian government proposed a bill also to legalize crypto as a payment method, and a major crypto payment firm enabled residents to buy, sell, and hold cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some others. Naomi, Rio has everything it takes to become the tech capital of South America. If this comes true, will we see a major case of dominoes falling with the crypto adoption throughout South and Latin America?
I mean, I think the dominoes have already started, and El Salvador really kicked that off.
Yep.
So we've always predicted in the crypto space since the early days, these 4 horsemen of the fiat ending apocalypse. One of them was going to be central banks racing each other to add Bitcoin to their reserves. And you had El Salvador kick that off and add a tremendous amount of Bitcoin to their reserves. I think that Rio is following suit. I definitely don't think they're going to be the last. And what you're going to have, first of all, you're going to have the dollarized economies which are focusing on this, like El Salvador, the ones that don't have a central bank to compete with Bitcoin, ones that aren't giving up the power of the printing press by embracing a competitor to that printing press. So it makes total sense that El Salvador would be exploring this. I think that we're going to see a chain of countries that are also dollarized and don't have their own central bank, getting involved with this. Rio, I'm really excited by this, because aren't they also adding a discount? Like if you pay your taxes in Bitcoin, you get a discount. Like that's cool. Generally, I mean, I don't really care about government policies. I'm kind of the agorist mindset, like let's ignore what they're doing, let's do our own thing. But when I do see good policies, it tends to make my ears perk up, and that stuff is really great, that they're actually incentivizing the use of crypto, which is, what it should be. It shouldn't just be a speculative asset. This should be something that we're using in our everyday life. So I think that's cool that they're adding that discount for usage. But throw it back to you.
Absolutely. I love that. Tom, I'm going to come to you on the next question. Playing off what Naomi said about El Salvador, obviously everyone knows, what happened in El Salvador last year. Now, the president of El Salvador recently predicted that there will be 2 more countries that adopt Bitcoin as legal tender by the end of this year of 2022. Now, we saw yesterday that the Turks are moving their way there with what was going on with Turkey with the lira. And now Brazil, because it is Rio. It's this whole thing with Bitcoin is starting in Rio, but it will be adopted throughout the country of Brazil as time goes on. Who's next? Are we going to see a top 10 country adopt Bitcoin and crypto as a legal tender anytime soon?
Oh, definitely not next. That would be great. I've said it here on this channel before. Adoption on a national level is going to come from, and this is no disrespect, from the bottom up. It's going to come from countries that have a lot to gain from adopting crypto. 2022, I think, may go down as the year that we're seeing crypto as a payment for exclusivity. We're seeing NFTs offering kind of club membership type stuff. We had, I think in New York City, a exclusive bar just opened for like NFT holders. We're seeing kind of these perks added into the system here, and that's a new concept. I think it's very exciting. I would love to see a top 10 country jump on board. I don't think that's likely in the short term, but what I will say is I think that we'll continue to see these countries that have a lot to gain jump on board, and that's likely going to be a lot of South America. I would say like Venezuela likely has some reasoning to jump in there. Tonga, I believe, just yesterday declared they're going to be using crypto as a national. Maybe it was Bitcoin, not sure. It's very exciting stuff for sure. It's going to be a while till we see the big boys, though.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And there is some, it's like one of those, not Murphy's Law, but it's like one of those kind of things where you see like, smaller countries that if they adopt, for example, crypto, and it puts them into a better position that they were, and then, gives them kind of almost a leg up on countries like, the United States, where we're stifling the technology. They're going to be light years ahead of us if we don't get on board. All right, Crow, next question comes to you. This is something Naomi had said, about the crypto tax. The government is offering a 10% discount on your property taxes if you pay them in Bitcoin. Is this incentive enough to get that if you wanted to get that discount, are you going to get rid of your Bitcoin, or are you going to hang on to it and not give it to put it into the hands of the government?
It's a good question, but I mean, for me personally, while I love that a lot of these countries are adopting Bitcoin, for me, when I see El Salvador and Bitcoin, and then I see Africa and what's happening with Cardano, I feel like the use of that cryptocurrency. I'm not muted, am I?
No, you're good.
No.
Okay. The use of these cryptocurrencies are going to be relevant to the country they're serving, right? So when I see, you're going to get a discount, the question for me is what happens in June? What happens, later on this year? What happens if we decide, it's confirmed that we're locked into a bear market, prices are going to continue to fall? And the flip side of that is what happens if we say, okay, we're going off to a second peak for this market, we're going to hit red on the logarithmic scale, and the price is astronomical? Then how much? There's so many different variables to this kind of situation in terms of, when are the people going to want to get rid of it and use it for a particular use case like paying taxes? If they're getting a 10% discount on Bitcoin, what if they're going to make 2 to 3x on just holding it? So how much incentive is that really overall? But the flip side to that is how many people start accumulating it at the current price point, and then when they see the market come down, how is that incentive going to change? You know what I mean? And how is the overall adoption going to change as the price starts to move down? Which leads me to this other situation of well, what happens if we don't have a peak or a lull anymore? What happens if we just start basically trading sideways from here on with just some more, volatility long term, where we don't have like peaks into the red and we don't have drops above 90% or what have you? So there's so many questions for me that still have yet to be answered. A 10% incentive to me, cool if it brings adoption. But I think everything is still so volatile. It's not going to be easy for somebody with $100 to their name to put it into Bitcoin and ride the waves. I think it's still going to be pretty scary. But that's, one final point to that is it's one of the reasons why I'm very much into Cardano, because Cardano is actually helping build infrastructure to support the use cases that can be built with Cardano, right? In Africa, throughout different parts of Africa. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. It's a store of value, cool. It's a digital gold, cool. But what outside of that is it actually offering the people of any particular country? What sort of uses or opportunities is it offering? And so that's why I think some of these altcoins are probably going to thrive, and it's not just going to be all about, well, what countries adopt Bitcoin. It's going to be about what countries adopt what blockchain and why, and how is that blockchain going to benefit the people there.
I absolutely agree with you. I think that's the argument. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, something we should throw in here is it's not actually a 10% discount on their taxes. So from what I've heard, they get a 7% discount just by paying. I think it's like all in bulk up front. And then in crypto, so it's actually the wording is in crypto, I believe, they can get an additional 3%. So it's not a huge bonus, but this is by itself a use case. And that's something it's really hard to
it's bringing legitimacy though, too.
Absolutely.
It's bringing a lot of legitimacy. I mean, when a nation's willing to take cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, for exchange of their taxes or government services, it brings more legitimacy to what this is all about.
I would agree with you. Rice, my next question coming to you on this one. Now, this was something that Naomi was speaking about on the last topic about permissionless, right? If the government legalizing crypto and allowing its citizens to use it, you get discounts, you can hold it, all of that is fine. It's great. It's wonderful. But what it does is it takes away the fact that crypto is permissionless, and you still feel like we're being told, yeah, it's okay to use it. Yes, of course. Sure, that's fine. We'll allow you to use it. That's not why we're here, right?
No, I agree. But I mean, that's not how the everyday person thinks. So having news like this comes out again just brings more awareness and more legitimacy to what cryptocurrencies, the power of what cryptocurrency can do. I mean, you're seeing nations getting around sanctions using Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies because they're getting away from the US dollar. And that's one of the biggest benefits that a country like El Salvador or even Tonga is, getting away from being told what they had to do by the central banks and being told what they had to do by the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations. It gets them out of that power control that these nations are in. And ultimately, the US dollar, the performance of the US dollar is going to determine how nations adopt things like Bitcoin. And what we're thinking about with Rio de Janeiro, when you look at Brazil itself is the 12th largest in the world by GDP and the 8th largest by purchasing power. So if a nation like that was to fully adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, it would be completely different than someone like El Salvador, which is a small nation with one of the highest crime rates, or even Tonga, which has like 100,000 citizens. So, I can see this bleeding over into other elements. I don't see a Venezuela because of the communist government there. I don't see them adding Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, but the citizens are utilizing those technologies. And that's where the permissionless part comes in, because people can choose to adopt these things on their own without the governments making it legal tender. People can decide to barter peer to peer. And that's the power of what this gives us. And ultimately, we want to get away from dirty fiat. The fiat system is controlled by governments and central banks. So for me personally, that's my goal and the reason why I got involved in cryptocurrency. And that's what I talk about on my channel, RiceTVx, is things to this effect, things about freedom, sovereignty, real true decentralization, and getting away from these control mechanisms that we have in place, these slave-based systems that we are forced to participate in.
Excellent point. I love hearing that, Rice.
I hate these. I know. I hate these. After I say something crazy and powerful, it's like it just gets quiet.
No, well, it's
So we're
sometimes
absorbing it. It's
yeah, you got to take it in.
Yeah.
It's it's deep. And Rice, you got great perspectives on a lot of things. I always love hearing what you got to say. Very well done. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Before we do, I'm showing about 1,300 likes. Let's try to get that closer to 2,000. We got enough people watching to do that. If you're watching live, just X out of the chat really quick. Hop in, smash the like, smash it. Friday Smash. We'll call it Friday Smash. And then get back into the chat and start +1 and away. But make sure that you guys do like this video. I'd like to see closer to 2,000 by the time we're done here. All right, last topic of the day. We're going to talk about Matic. The Matic network, Polygon, the activity is just surging. Now, the Polygon smashes all milestones in terms of active accounts and daily network revenues. The number of daily active addresses is up 36% in the first week of 2022, and the activity is attributed to the euphoria around its GameFi protocols and increased popularity of Sunflower Farmers' play-to-earn protocol. All right, Naomi, first question comes to you about this. Does the Polygon DApp expansion into the metaverse serve as a huge boost for the Matic token?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think that, metaverse talk, there's so much hype at the moment. I don't know if you guys read the blog by Moxie Marlinspike, former CEO of Signal. Really great deep dive into the metaverse. I think that people should take a lot of caution when they're delving into metaverse stuff, because as Moxie kind of outlined in this article, so much of it is a lot more centralized than we realize. Like, for example, he had something removed from OpenSea. Yeah. We all know the private platform, they can remove it if they want, but a lot of people don't realize that actually takes it away from your wallet, your MetaMask wallet, because they're actually just referencing OpenSea as the source of this NFT. So I think a lot of people need to kind of get their head around where we are in the state of play with metaverse stuff. But I also think that a lot of people discount where we're going. This is absolutely the future. This is absolutely not just hyped. I mean, there's so much pop culture based around it. It's not just like Neil Stephenson who invented the term metaverse, right? And Snow Crash, but you have like Sword Art Online, like all these animes who explore this world. You've got the Matrix, like this idea of us being plugged into a system and being able to be interconnected with people over the other side of the world in this digital realm. It's really exciting. That's what the internet sort of brought to fruition. And I think this Web3, this metaverse stuff is just going to take it to the next level. We have a long way to go, but I definitely think it's exciting. So absolutely the first movers in this space. It's great that they're already diving into this. You got a lot of different platforms that are looking into metaverse, what they can do to build out this space. So definitely, I am keeping an eye on those tokens in particular. And I also think that just as like a competitor to Ethereum in this realm, I think people shouldn't discount these competitors, because a lot of people look to Ethereum and say, well, they've got the first mover advantage, which I totally get. And right now that makes a lot of sense. But we're moving into a world where everything is interoperable. It doesn't matter which walled garden you start out in and which walled garden has all the interoperability within that walled garden. At the outset, Ethereum obviously takes the crown for that. We're moving into a world where that's not going to matter, because you're going to have so much interoperability between all of these layer one chains that I think that it's just going to be, I think a lot of the time you're probably not even going to know which chain you're even operating on. So I definitely think that people are probably discounting a lot of these competitors out there, and probably should be looking at what kind of technology they're offering, what's their edge, what are they bringing to the table that perhaps Ethereum isn't providing at the moment, whether it's due to high fees or whether it's due to this network that's already being built and there's a lot of kind of maybe slow moving things built into it, because it's hard to pivot once you already have something established. Some of these new players out there are conceptualizing this stuff right from the ground, and so it's very interesting to see how this competition is going to play out.
Absolutely. Speaking of Ethereum, the next question is based kind of on that. Let's see. Let's go to Rice for that one. Now, 85% of Matic's 130 million user accounts have no corresponding activity with that Ethereum address that Polygon and Ethereum share. Those addresses. Does Polygon have the chops to take over the number 2 spot from Ethereum? Could that be the Ethereum killer?
No, I don't think so at all. I just think it's more of a compliment to Ethereum. And I've mentioned this many times. I feel that, that there are going to be viable alternatives and people will utilize them. But Ethereum is here to stay, and it's here for the long haul. If you look at the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, the largest conglomeration in the world, you look at who's involved, it's too big to fail. And then you're also seeing a lot of these ETH competitors utilizing EVM capability. it's like I said, I think Polygon is definitely a complementary thing for Ethereum. It's helping the Ethereum network out, so I don't see it surpassing Ethereum by any means. We're seeing delays on Ethereum 2.0, and then Vitalik has come out recently saying that once they start getting ETH 2.0 rolling out, it's really going to take like 5 to 7 years to get fully functional. So with that being said, you're going to have more longevity for these layer 2 solutions, and I believe that we're going to continue having layer 2 solutions. It takes off the stress off the main blockchain, but ultimately, again, I just really feel like this is a very complementary thing to Ethereum. And when you really look at the space, everybody is working around Ethereum when we're talking about the smart contract platforms. I shouldn't say everybody, but most everybody. There are projects that are not EVM compatible, but most of the projects that are looking for longevity are working on that EVM compatibility.
I love it. Thank you.
What happened to all of our points?
Well, I'm telling you. So before we went on the air, I told you guys whoever sends the most Bitcoin to my wallet wins the show. So clearly,
I
Tom.
didn't hear that. I didn't get the memo.
No,
mine's still in the mempool. It's just the transaction fee was way too low, and so it's going to be there for days.
Oh, I'm so sorry for everybody there, except for Tom. I'm just kidding. We don't know what just happened. There was a little glitch. It wiped out everybody but Tom. But I'm pretty sure
I told you it was rigged, everybody. I told you it was rigged.
It was pretty close across the board. We might have to make an executive decision when we're done with them. We got 2 more questions here. Crow, I'll come to you so that you can finish getting your haircut uninterrupted. So with over 169 protocols and $5.4 billion locked in the chain, is Polygon keeping up with its aim to become the #1 DeFi hub?
First of all, thank you for letting me get my haircut on the air.
Absolutely.
And oh shit, Cardano just dropped $0.015. I used to be really big into Polygon. I used to be really big into a lot of these different projects and coins, and I'm gonna pretend like you didn't ask me that question because I don't really have a clear answer for you. But the one thing that I did want to, first of all, I love you, Naomi. You are so just on it. And Rice, I haven't talked to Rice in so long. It's been, I don't know, 3 years. I mean, he and I used to swap messages back in the day. Good to see you again. Tom Crown, he's just like, I don't know, is this Tom Cruise's younger son? I don't know what's happening over here, but good to see him. I've never been live with him before. But I wanted to make a point that everything nowadays that has to do with a game on the blockchain is being called a metaverse. Just like the ketchup company tried to change their name to blockchain so their stock price would go up, right? There is very little actual metaverse being built right now. A lot of it is bullshit. A lot of the stuff that's coming out right now is being marketed as something that it's not, to try and capture the money of everybody that has it, that wants to do anything with metaverse, right?
Nice.
To me, true metaverse, when I think of metaverse, I think of Elon. How many of you guys are old enough? I know I'm old. I'm getting a little younger as I get my hair cut, but I'm an old man. How many of you remember Shadowrun? With the data jacks and all of that, Rice does.
It was like a cyberpunk role-playing game.
Exactly, right? And I'm a big nerd, so I remember all that stuff because I used to make characters. I had no friends. I just had the rule book and a pencil and a paper, and I'd make these characters, and it was all about basically a world in the metaverse. The metaverse was the metaverse before all this stuff, but it was on pen and paper. And when I think of the metaverse, and I think of like Elon Musk and his Neuralink and his implants and all of that, that's the real development in a world where it's augmented reality. And the Neuralink coming in, we get our data jacks, and we're actually we're coexisting in a metaverse. That's metaverse to me, not axes, not little NFT tokens that are like popping around. We're clicking a button and they're minting new. That stuff is cool and it's fun, but it's not metaverse. So I just wanted to make that point. Second of all, I really like what Polygon does, but I have not been following them. I haven't been following a lot of the stuff in the market outside of what Cardano offers. So this is probably the wrong show for me.
No, it's all good, man.
But everybody else is doing fantastic, and I just wanted to make that point. So thank you.
No, man, it's all good. And I actually will 100% agree with you. We were actually on a Twitter Spaces earlier this afternoon talking about metaverse, blockchain, all that kind of stuff. And I said the same exact thing. I said, until we are living... if you saw the movie Ready Player One or listen to the book, until that's the
I just got the second book. There's 2.
Ooh, I got to check it out. Got to check it out. But until we are in a haptic suit, until we are literally living in a metaverse, it's just games. It's just, you know, a lot of hype and a lot of things going on. But we will get there. I know that we will, but it might be, you know, 10 years before we're truly able to fully immerse into a metaverse.
Justin,
right.
I can't end this without getting one more point, my friend. I got to get
Well,
one more.
hey, good thing I got one more question for you, Tom. Now
right.
we have seen significant declines in Matic balances on exchanges. This is very apparent. Do you think that the ecosystem is preparing for this epic bull run? And maybe we could tie it back into the XRP case. You can say whatever, but do you think that we're getting ready? And you know, the people in this ecosystem know it, so they're taking everything off the exchange.
Well, I think we're seeing that kind of across the board. Bitcoin's hitting new lows of exchange reserves. We're seeing that not just on Matic, but to answer kind of the original question, because no one really did hear, I have some speculation. Matic hit a new all-time high in like December last year. That's pretty normal to see when a coin hits an all-time high, to see transactions, to see wallet growth. So I think that's a good explanation just off the bat. Number two, this is a little spicy comment. Apparently, Binance is maybe kicking off its BEP20 or something like that, kicking Matic off because it hasn't been used essentially. And so maybe some of these transactions or traffic has to do with Binance no longer supporting BEP20 Matic tokens, and people are moving them around to try to claim them or move them into their own wallet, etc. There we go.
There we go.
69.
I like it. Well, all right. So that's all the questions I got. We ran a little bit of overtime, but hey, it's all right. With that being said, this show went neck and neck. Everybody scored the same amount, 69 points.
Inflation.
So convenient.
Points inflation.
Well, okay. So here's what I want to do. On the technical aspect of all of this, I want to give the win to Naomi. I want to do that.
Me too.
I think
but-
give her mine points.
But the last time she was on the show and I hosted, she did win. Crow literally just got a haircut live on stream.
He did.
So I think for like just for that, I got to
Trailblazer.
give the win to him today. So that means
I respectfully hand the crown off because I could not
Yeah.
compete
Shout out
with
to the
that.
barber.
I
Look
did
at the
not even
barber.
come
He's like,
close
"I'm
to getting
famous."
a
I
haircut.
think the barber wins.
I saw
we should
so
get to
much
the
in that
barber.
chat, so much in the chat,
Great
so many
cut.
plus ones for the barber. So very awesome. Crow, that means you can leave us with a 30-second parting word. Let us know what you want to say.
I thought you knew me, bro. I don't talk in under 30 seconds. Listen, all I really have to say is, I did a big video today where I talked about how undecided I've been because I'm really not 100% on whether we're going up or we're going down. And all I can really tell is everybody just be careful. Take out what you need to live. If you're a big trader, you're big in the space, you're fully vested. Just protect yourself. Make sure you've got a nest egg. Make sure you're ready and prepared for just about anything that could happen with kind of the craziness that is the world today. Protect yourself, protect your family, keep your nose clean, and hopefully all will work out in the end. That's really all I can offer right now. Go to Zemplify.com too. Dang it.
There you go.
Subscribe to all of our channels.
Yes, make sure everybody's link is down below in the description. Make sure before you check out of here that you do smash the like, go down there, follow their stuff. All right, that's going to do it for this week of Around the Blockchain here on BitBoy Crypto. Make sure this weekend that you get outside, get some fresh air, work on your mental health, tell someone you love them, and we will see you back here on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern on BitBoy Crypto. Have yourself a great weekend. See you next time.
I love you, Justin.
We
My
love you
cat
guys.
says goodbye.